This is the SNC podcast. My name is Folashade Anozie. I am excited to interview this music producer, rapper, singer, sound engineer, and CEO. I first got introduced to him as an artist in 2008 on rapper Illbliss's record You Go Wound. He followed it up by producing and featuring on Rooftop MC's 2008 record For My Life. He further showcased his production skills and artistry on Tito Simos's 2009 record Oshamo, and he produced Kel's debut album The Investment. On the music business side of things, he is the co-founder of Capitol Hill alongside Clarence Peters and is the CEO of his own record label Anyhow Records. I'm talking about none but the one and only The Suspect. So welcome, Suspect. Thank you so much for being here.
No, not try pass.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm all right.
So what have you been up to this weekend?
First things first, I've been to church early this morning.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you offend good?
Came back. Came back home to rest.
Okay.
Came back home to rest proper and have my nieces disturb my life, and then tried to rest a bit and prepare for this interview.
Okay. Thank you for taking some time to prepare for this. I'm glad to hear that.
Now not I pass.
Now we try pass. So before I dive into all the questions I have for you and just getting to know you more, I saw that on Twitter and Instagram, last week you were asking your fans to help you choose between two complimentary meals. Someone was bringing you jollof rice, turkey, and plantain, or agoyin beans. Yeah. So which one did you end up choosing?
I actually chose the agoyin. Last. According to the poll, a lot of people wanted me to take a agoyin. I chose the agoyin.
Okay.
And it was good. It turned out good. It was coming from a friend that owns a business. She just started and wanted to promote it, and so I wanted to. I wanted to taste out of it, sort of like a complimentary meal. Let me just see what it was like. So it turned out good.
Okay, that's good. I guess I did because when I went through when I was stalking you, I didn't see you say which one you picked. So I was like, okay, which one did he pick?
Okay. I actually posted it on Instagram. Funny enough, I did.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe I just didn't see.
Yesterday evening, I posted it on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, at least now we know that you picked Ewa going.
Ewa going.
Okay. Cool. So ever going for the win. All right. So now that my amebo has gotten out of the way, let's definitely get to know you more. So as I always start the interview, I always ask people to tell me what their passport name is. So can you tell us what your passport name is?
My passport name is David Peter.
Okay. All right. And then where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Ikeja, Lagos,
all right,
Nigeria. Yeah, that's where I was born. And a street called Orisha. Mm-hmm. One of the deadliest streets growing up. But we thank God. We thank God for life. We thank God for life.
Why was it deadly?
It was deadly in the sense that growing up in that environment was not good at all. It wasn't, how ghetto they be now.
Yeah.
So everybody, there's several areas there like that. You have Ekpoto, you have Adeshino, you have all sorts, Balogun and all that, and then you have Orisha. It was deadly because most of the people we grew up with were, it's not, I don't think it's cool for me to use those things now, but hey, now interview, people should get to know us proper as we are. We grew up among thieves, robbers, all sorts. Just mention anything, whatever you can think of, just mention, whatever you can think of. Those are the kind of people we grew up with, and we kind of like emulated their lives and took up where they stopped and everything, and it affected a lot of us. And only a few of us that were, that God, had plans for, we were able to survive and then move out of the hood. That's why I said it was deadly.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we're glad that you were God was able to allow you to overcome that, the challenge and, able to come out on the other side. Because like you said, not everybody was fortunate enough to be able to leave that lifestyle and that type of environment. So
exactly.
Excuse me, yeah. So I also read that you're from Akwa Ibom State.
Confirm. I'm Akwa Ibom Nimio.
So how frequently do you go to Akwa Ibom?
Actually, I traveled February this year. Yeah, I did. and I might have to go back home soon again to go and do small work for the government. As regards the state anniversary coming up very soon.
Oh, nice.
In a couple of weeks again.
Okay. So are you producing or?
I might not be producing this year. I did in 2015, 2016 thereabout. I might not be producing this year because I actually have been busy and then I have personal things to sort out. Yeah, so I don't even think they want to do production stuff again like they did, because it was heavy the last time we did it. It was some heavy money, heavy planning things, and it took a lot of my time. So I actually did it because the money was good. So let's just dedicate a week, 2 weeks to it. Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a lovely time with that. I've never been to because my father's from Owerri and I've never been to the east. So anyhow.
You have Igbo blood.
I have Igbo blood in me. Yes.
Wow.
I have Igbo blood in me, but I've never really. The only time that I really tap into my Igbo blood is when it comes to money. So
confirm.
Besides that, I'm not really.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
So you never been there?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't been to all my life. I spent it in Lagos. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should try and go to your place. I've been to your place twice. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Once. Yeah. Oh. You should.
When hopefully before God comes back, I'll definitely put that on my plan. So yeah.
Abby.
Okay. So I also read that unfortunately you lost your parents at a tender age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could just talk briefly about that, how that was for you having no parents and just having to make your way towards finding what you wanted to do with your life.
Okay. First things first, they died mysteriously, meaning we didn't know what happened. It was kind of like we didn't understand. Up till now, we don't understand. But we, being Africans, we got to later find out that it was do you understand what I mean? It was took hand inside that matter type of things. Yeah. But we bless God that we are alive and there's really nothing the enemy can do from here on, because we understand these things now. It wasn't easy growing up, at a particular part of our lives without them. It's not easy because, like I was telling somebody last week, I was telling a person that you guys are lucky. You still have your parents. You still have people to find a way to sort their children out. That's what parents actually do. That's what we love our parents. Yeah. They find a way to go sort their children out spiritually. You understand? You guys are lucky. You still have your parents. That's what I was telling the guy. You guys, you're lucky. You still have your parents. People like us, we had to struggle through everything. There's nobody defending us. If it wasn't for God, there's nobody that was intercessing for us. He gave us like double work, So as you are trying to fight for your life, fight for your glory, you are trying to fight the spiritual side too, and then fight for your business too. But we thank God, actually. We thank God. It wasn't easy. Most of the uncles we had, then everybody, as soon as we got back from the village, first thing that happened as we got back home to Lagos, we found out that the house that my dad and his friend is sort of like his best friend built together, and we were living at the back. We found out that he had thrown everything out. Wow. So we had no place to stay, and it was actually raining that period. So we came back and found everything outside, and there was no accommodation.
Wow. I can't even begin to ask you what that must have felt like.
It was horrible, but in like a couple of days, I think in like 3 days after that, something came up and we all moved, and then we started our lives again, started hustling. And then our uncles, none of them wanted to see us. The ones that had some of my dad's properties, because when he was being buried, the day he was being buried, as he was being buried, they were asking me, "What's up? What do we do?" They were trying to share his land and everything. But, hey, this is the guy that owns you. What are you going to do with it? So I gave everything out on that same day.
Wow. And you were just obviously very young, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I give everything out on that same day, and I think that's one of the avenues through which God used to save me. Because if I had started fighting for lands and everything, I would have lost my life. Trust me, I know these people would have lost my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here and you've been able to overcome. Are you the first child or like the last?
No. I'm the first son.
Oh wow, the first son. Okay.
That's why the battle is heavy.
I can't even begin to imagine. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that thank you for taking us through that trying time and you being able to overcome. So if you could just talk us through how you got into music.
My musical background. First and foremost, let me start by saying the first primary school I went to was Akitoye Shogunle Primary School. I did not last 2 weeks there. They threw me out.
Wow, were you a terrorist?
They threw me out. The issues were too many. I just had plenty wahala. They can't keep this kid here. Yeah. So they took me to Tokumbale Primary School, and that's where I found people of like minds. You understand? All the ruffians were there too, so it encouraged me. And then I think that's one of the places that my life got shaped, because I now found this teacher that actually lives on my street, Mrs. Olaojo. I still remember her name, and she was one of the people that actually beat me into shape. From then on, I I joined the school band. I joined the school band as I was one of the percussionists from that tender age, and from then on after then I joined the Fuji band. It wasn't really good that period, because the way Fuji music is proper street music, and you guys have to get into scuffles and all that, fight and big boy. Yeah, so I saw all of that, and then secondary school I joined a couple of groups I started in secondary school too.
I read that one of them's called the Brotherhood. Was that in secondary school?
Oh, yeah, there was, Brotherhood was in secondary school. Brotherhood was in secondary school. It was a rap group. And then right after that passed, some years later, I was now part of a gospel group, an a cappella gospel group called the Praise Brothers. Yeah, they were a bit popular back in the day. In Lagos, Benin, Port Harcourt, when MP3 wasn't in vogue, meaning it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Meaning that you don't old.
No, I just try my best. So I'm just 19.
I'm just 19.
Just 19, getting on to 20 in a bit.
I'm just 9 years old.
Abi.
Go ahead.
So it was fun. It was fun. It was tasking and very, very educative for me. It was a learning process for me, because throughout this period, I kept meeting different types of challenges, which was actually good for me, because it helped me later on in life, with production and everything. But it was crazy though. And I was coming from like an analog age, you understand? That's where I'm coming from. And you didn't have most of digital things that people have now to work with, that you can make music on the fly now. Yeah. Back then, everything you wanted to use was, if you wanted like a reverb, if you wanted reverb on the voice, it's an hardware. It's there. It's on the rack. If you wanted delay, it was an hardware. So these things were not easy to get. You understand? So you can't start up a studio like that except you're heavily funded, except you actually was the chairman, sort of, because there not be beans to buy those things.
I have a quick question about that. I was watching this interview with Young Guru, and he was talking about how, going from analog to digital, and he was saying that he's lucky because even though some people may have seen the analog age as a very stressful time, like you said, you don't have certain equipment, he feels like because he was schooled in that era of analog, he's able to effectively move between analog and digital, in comparison to someone who is just exposed to digital and doesn't know how to go back and forth. Does that apply to you as well?
Yes, it does actually. I can't lie, because one of the truth is, see, I know people that went to audio school, a couple of them from Nigeria here that studied abroad, that, finished audio school, came back, And then most times they say they want to have meetings with me, that they needed to discuss some things, that I need to actually put them through some things. I'm like, sorry, you bros, you go engineering school now. You go all the engineering school. I don't go to school here. This one already street. Now we take the career for here. What do you want me to teach you again? I'm sure by now you should know about the theoretical aspect of it and the which other aspect again? There's theory and then what's the other one? And then the practical one. So you should actually know these things. He said, yeah, they actually taught us, but you see the difference is there's a difference between what you guys do and what we do. There's just something about you guys. There's something about your sound. There's the way you guys sound. I'm like, hey, I started this also from when there was nothing. You know, I actually read some books. I actually read some books before I ever touched before I touched one equipment. So it was different.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was saying, because he was saying that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Oh, no, he was saying that that's something that he always tells people that want to become either a producer or engineer, is that apart from just knowing the practical aspects, you also have to know the theory. Like, why should a reverb go on this record? You know, why should you use different things? So he was just saying that, you know, he feels like this day and age, we need to teach people that they need to know the theory of, you know, production and engineering.
Exactly, because like for instance, there was some time back in the day they were working on a soundtrack for one Yoruba movie back in the day, and I was to handle one of the songs they were using on it. And then when we were done recording, the engineer I was working with in the studio back then, his name is Victor. That was one of the guys from the analog era that actually put me through a little bit of teaching for mixing engineering at that time. Every other person didn't have the time and didn't want to teach, because number one, there was no time. Number two, why I go teach you now, so that you go sabi and come collect work.
Wow.
You understand? Yeah, so that's one of the things they didn't want to do that period. So we finished recording and we were like, he didn't have time because he had to go and work somewhere else. So he said, I'm going to do a sharp mix for you. I knew what he was going to do actually, but I was praying that it was the same thing that was on my mind that I needed him to do. There was a particular reverb I was looking for that period that people weren't using at that particular time outside, you know, for productions, you understand? So immediately he turned on the reverb and switched to that preset. I just told him, Victor, this is it. Cut down on the room size. He cut down the room size. You see the high part of it, cut down on it. He did too. I said, that's fine. Okay, reduce the mix a bit. He reduced it. And then I said, okay, you know what? You see, there's this delay that you should drop on it, so it doesn't sound like the voice is low and just on its own. He did it. So the voice, the delay on the vocals kept coming back, and it was sweet. I said, this is it. He now looked at me. He said, where did you learn all these things? I said, my brother, as you see him like this, just take on. Render the track. As you see him like this, just take on. Render the track out. Because it wasn't easy for you to be a producer and a sound engineer at the same time in that era. It's not possible to move between boards and this thing, because you have the analog. You can't be a drummer now, come and run up on consoles and start to tweak and all that at the same time. Not that it wasn't possible, but it was too much. So engineers were revered and actually respected, and they had their own. So it was one of those things. Now, if I apply those things, if I want to work with somebody gets in the booth and starts to record. As I'm listening to your voice, my head is running a million things that I can use for your voice. And make sure you have that your signature sound. And that's one of the things that Illplace actually likes about me. Illplace can go and record anywhere in the world, and he will tell the person that's going to mix my voice, the way I like it, the way it is suspect. So sometimes we will record with somebody and say, okay, you know what, we're not recording, but this thing doesn't work. It doesn't. I can't hear myself properly on this song. Even if the mix is I can't hear myself. The person, or sometimes you will record with some people and they will say, please tell Suspect to help us mix this song so it will come out well. So it's that level of trust and work over the years. Over the years. Even a lot of people, it happens to a lot of artists that work with too. Same thing.
Well, that's good. That's a testament to your expertise and growth as a pioneer in the industry. So just going onto your musical influences, I read that your musical influences include Shalama, Kool and the Gang, Fela,
Dr. Dre, King Sunny Ade, yeah.
So how did you get introduced to all these different?
It was my dad. Most of the African dads we had then, they always had the proper ones always had records in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take the vinyl and you put it in and you start to play, you don't get choice now. So some of the children will, as at that time, the kids I know would just want to vibe to the song, just sing, enjoy themselves and walk away. But I was sitting back to listen to how these things were played at that very tender age.
Wow.
I was listening to, so why is this thing sounding like this? What is this one? Why is this thing like this? And then later on, when Dex now came out, and that was when I started, okay, there's a way this song is sounding. It's not as sharp as it should be. So I started tweaking from that. I now understood that, this is what this thing does. It was from there. The love for music started there. But I didn't actually take it serious like that because it was actually football I started with. Yeah,
so
it was actually
trying to become a Kanuanko or Kocha.
I actually did play, funny enough.
I
played for some small semi-professional clubs back then.
Oh, wow.
I did.
So what happened now?
You know the Nigerian story now. Anywhere where you go now, bribery, any quota system killed everything.
Gosh. Well, we're glad. Although it's kind of sad, but we're glad that you didn't really thrive in soccer. So you're able to football. Sorry, it's the American way.
Yeah.
Sorry. Football.
Was anyone you call on?
It's just weird. Like, I forget sometimes. Like, it's really just Americans are the ones that have it backwards. Okay, football. Okay, moving right along suspect. So some of your production credits include Illbliss's newest album, Bomaye.
Yeah.
So he actually featured you as a producer and an artist on a track called Ball in the Net, and you produced Over and Over and Iteriba.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you talk about this?
You did stalk show. You international wish.
See, I've been telling people that I somehow really truly miss my calling as working for the CIA and FBI. People just don't know, So I try to put those skills into more.
But this is good though. This is good for what you do though. This is good. The difference between you and some of the people that work on radio here that I've met over the years. Sometimes you go for an interview, you're on live radio or even TV too. The interviewer doesn't even know what to ask you. So what are you working on now? As in before the thing starts, what's that your name again? You'll be like, yo, they stalked me for this interview for like months.
Yeah.
Then you finally get chance, make me and you do this interview. Then you don't know waiting to ask me. I don't understand.
Yeah. Well,
so I've met a couple of them like that. Like you go for an interview and they just want you to be talking. They ask, okay, what is your name? And they want you to expand what is your name into a 4-paragraph answer. I'm like,
yeah. So
they try.
I appreciate that. So can you just talk about what it was like working on Illbliss's album?
Oh, okay. The Bomaye album is Illy's fifth album, fifth studio album, and it's always wahala working with Illbliss. Wahala in the sense that you record a verse now, and by midnight, Illy has buzzed you 3-4 times.
Wow.
Like yo, Sauce, you know what? There's a way of sounding on the fourth bar. Like, guy, this thing is fine. Leave it. Let me finish my. Like, yo, there's a way. And then by morning again, it will buzz you. Guy, are you up? I'm like, yes, I'm up. What's up? See, I want to retake that verse again. I said, guy, this thing, they okay. He said, no. You taught me. Sauce, you taught me never to just give up like that. Don't just record and let it go. That's what you taught me. I'll be like, guy, okay, now I regret. I regret all of that. I said, no, you can't regret now. Let's do this again. And it will come back and make it better. That's the funny thing. It will come back and make it better. So the album is basically like that. That's how much work.
Yeah.
So sometimes it will work with somebody. The work is probably done, but you tell the person, I'm coming, let me go and check with us. And the funny thing is the period that the album was being worked on, I had done some work, some level of work on it, and then I took ill. I wasn't feeling too good. I was hospitalized for a while. Didn't allow social media to grab all of that.
Yeah.
We are not in the business of getting cheap publicity with our health. Wahala. Yes. So all through the while, Iblis will still buzz. Guy, Alpha, are you feeling better? I'd be like, dude, no. Like, okay, fine. I just wanted to tell you that the verse on...
Dude, no, but I want to tell you.
I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? So he kept... That's how much work kept going. Even the part where I was getting... when I was getting better was the stage where I got the album mastered. The album was mastered when I was just coming out of recovery.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so on my sick bed, that's when I went to get new gear to be able to master the album.
Dang.
It was a lot went into it, and you have to really respect him because he keeps pushing the bar every time. He works hard. He works harder than most of the new age people I know. He works really, really hard, and when he wants to start work on a particular album, we sit down and have like a meeting, a small discussion, and say, what's the theme? What's the direction for this album? And then he will tell you, I have like 3-4 ideas that's popping. And I'll be like, whatever you do, make sure it's still new. Make sure, number one, it's new age. Number two, make sure it's still you. It doesn't really matter. Because the only way you can sell yourself with the new age is to still retain yourself. Yeah. But you see, on this particular album, you're going to find a way to do some small singing. You do some sing rap on it. And he actually agreed with it. So if you listen to one of the songs on the album, one of the tracks on the album, Booba.
Okay, I haven't heard that
one. If you listen to Booba, you hear him sing, do a little bit of singing on the hook, and then back into the verses again.
I see.
Yeah.
I think like it's just like I think that's the producer in you also being able to tell people that as much as you want to stick to your core, you also want to be not necessarily like adapt or follow the trend, but be knowledgeable.
Relevant.
Exactly.
The relevance is the key word because it's not easy. I can count. Like, you can count how many people that are from his era that are not making music anymore or are making music and not making any impact. You know what I'm talking about.
Totally.
But sometimes you get a beat. Sometimes you get like a folder full of beats now, and I'll be like, let's listen through. We listen through, and I'll be like, this song, you should get Mayokun on this song. Like, what's he going to do? Like, for instance, when we're working on Jamalaya with Ricardo Banks and Mr. Easy, initially when the beat came in, it was like, are you sure about Ricardo on this kind of beat? Yeah, it's groovy, but it's hip-hop. I'm like, don't worry, get him. We got Ricardo in the studio. Ricardo came through, recorded the hook. Illy wasn't sure, but after recording, immediately I recorded Ricardo. I just told Illy, this thing I hit. Like, I say, guy, you go take to us, say this thing I said, don't worry. We finished, in fact, we were done with the song until it came up and wanted to write like a second verse for it. And I said, dude, wait, don't. The only way to sell this song and still sell yourself is to make sure that you have 2 new age boys that on this song. Let's get Easy. So we got Mr. Easy. Put him on the song. Easy wrote back and said, yo, bros, I beg. I love this song. Please give me more than whatever bars or whatever you wanted to do. Yeah. Then we're like, no, let's keep it contained and everything. Yeah. You see, this is how you work with people like this. Over time, if you're going to work on an album, just know what you're doing at the end of the day. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. Also produced Kel's debut album, The Investment. Which
2008.
Yeah, which had hits like Wawa, Alright, Too Fine, and Them Done They Move.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because I know that at the time that the album came out, it was a really, really big deal. So how did that make you feel to be a part of that project?
It was crazy at that point because it wasn't really that female rapper that had authority in her voice at that particular point in time that people could listen to and say, we have respect for somebody like this. This is new. As at that time, you don't have too many girls rapping. Now, was the only person at that time that I could remember was it was Sasha. And then Wed MC, but she was, because it was just Allen Avenue that she did back then, that only people could only hold on to. But clients and I wanted somebody that would wanted to that what we wanted to do was just change the game, just change everything. So we started working on Wawa Alright. When I finished Wawa Alright, Kel herself did not actually like it. She hated the song.
Why?
She hated the song because she wanted to do the normal. She was used to hip hop now, so she was coming from that hip hop background.
I want hip hop heads.
And wanted to, I want hip hop heads. Oh, you go hungry, go kill you, eh? Now hip hop head, yellow.
You're too funny.
So she didn't know. But what we were working, clients was asking me what we should do. I said thing to do as at that point in time was to look for a way to sell a rapper to both communities, both our heads and then to the streets. Yeah. You see, the people on the streets, their market is heavy. Yep. It's a massive market. Yep. They can make noise about your market. So if they can make noise about your market, so they are the ones you need to pariwo gun to make noise about your market. Giddy giddy gun. Yeah. The hip hop heads are just going to probably just like it and then do their small community talk and just be there rating bars and all that. It doesn't work like that. Promote your people, promote your genre. That's not the only way we take work. Yeah. So let's get the street people behind this. So what do we do? After making the beat, I got one of my boys from the streets. It was a proper street boy. Though he makes music, but it was his proper street boy. Skin, that's his name. Called him in. Oh yeah, take the hook. This is what you should say. And he did it. She came back. She listened. Chaos manager too listened. Her name is Osage. She went on to manage Wizkid, if you know her. So they listened and they were like, this song is Raz. And like, this song is Raz. I won't do anything. I just kept telling every single person that just keep quiet, shut up. Let's bring people from the street to come and listen to this. And they will play it for people on the street. They'll be like, yeah, what's this one? No, what's this one that you people are doing again? No, and that was it. Immediately the song dropped on radio. That was it. It caught fire.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, like you said, a lot of Nigerian artists, which I get that, because especially like you said, someone like Kel who's really, really into hip hop, you feel like if you kind of quote unquote sell out, then you know you risk alienating the true hip hop head. So.
But you see the problem, the one thing that they do not understand is when they say what exactly is sell out. What is commercial music? Yeah. Commercial music is music where they sell. Music where they sellable. So it doesn't really matter what form it comes in. Yeah. It's just here in Nigeria that you hear people say stuff. You don't do commercial music. What is commercial music? Commercial music na music where they sell. So if na soul they do and they sell, na commercial. If na R&B you do and they sell everybody, you na Nigeria you do and you do R&B and they sell for everywhere. Now, commercial music. That's the point that they were looking at it from the dance perspective of why you making the record danceable? Yo, this now music now. What are you trying to appeal to? Are you not trying to get people from other? What are you just targeting? Do you just have one target audience, which is just? Are you not looking for a way to get other people that listen to different type of music to get to like your type of music? He said yes. So that's what we are trying to do back then, and see everything they were trying to fight against back then. That's what's happening now. The sing rap is what's happening now.
I mean, so he has someone like Drake who's like dominating, the.
You see. Yeah. And then when it's time for Drake to kick bars, he will kick the bars.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, well, thank you for just, re-emphasizing I guess, it's just having that producer ear and knowing that, what's going to work and what isn't going to work. Yeah. Now, I want to quickly go on to your 2010 producer album, the I Am Music, the producer album.
Okay.
I really like the album because I felt like, and based on what I know about the album, it was like it was supposed to showcase your versatility and skill as a producer and
The
an artist.
producer. Yeah, but basically, most importantly, as a producer.
Yeah, obviously it's a producer album,
He's
yeah.
the
But
producer, yeah.
because it had various genres such as hip hop, reggae, Fuji, high life,
yeah,
right?
right, yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to some of the tracks that I totally love off that album. So one of them is I Know Send You.
Oh.
I feel like half of Africa or half of Nigeria was on that song. Because you had the male version, you had the female version, then you had the final version. So please, I beg, explain to us how that track just became, because that track was massive, you know.
Yeah.
So talk about I Know Send You.
Okay, I Know Send You. I Know Send You was actually a single on its own, and I featured this guy called R Cube on it. R Cube is a member of Straight Butter.
Yeah, Straight Butter, yeah.
Yeah, XYZ, you know, them people. Yeah. That's Straight Butter. So that was the original was just there. So I took the same beat, the same chords, the same progression on it. The only thing that changed was the drum pattern on it. That's what I did. I just changed the drum pattern. Still had the same horns and the brass blaring and all. And then after making the beat and placing the hook on it, Wyclef came through to record in the studio. After recording him for Sound Sultan's King of My Country, Wyclef says to me, "Yo, do you have any beat that I can vibe on?" And I just looked through like, this is the only thing myself I'm feeling right now, as in now. So I played the beat. He just listened, like, he just screamed, "Jeez!" And the next thing he just said, "Jeez, please hook up the mic." I just did. He went into the vocal booth and then pew.
That was it.
Started dropping bars, dropped till the end, and now came out and was like, that this beat is heavy, yo. So after that, I didn't want to be, what's the word again? I didn't want to be selfish, you know. I didn't want it to be just the suspect featuring Wyclef, and that would have been it. So I decided to just throw it open and make every other person, you know, people that weren't known popular, people that were a bit popular, then expand their fan base and everything. They don't already tell us, nah, good, nah, good go kill us. Just they do good up and down.
goody.
Goody. So I decided to put every single person that I was feeling at the point, or even if I wasn't feeling them, that could actually spit as much as I wanted on the song, that could come and represent hip hop proper on the song. So I tried to get people in. Emma, you come, you do your verse. Vector will come, listen to the beat, listen to Wyclef's verse. I'm like, Jesus Christ. We jump in, do his verse. Tito will come through. I'm sure you remember Tito.
Yeah, Tito Simos. Yeah, seriously, I was going to go to that song because that is my song.
So Tito will come through, drop his verse, walk away, and everybody kept praying. Everybody that came through kept praying. Suspect should drop this song, please. Let it help my career. Let it be that I was on the song that had Wyclef on it. So everybody came through. Yeah. Every single person. In fact, there's some people that will go out. Maybe they run into one person somewhere. They'll be like, "Man, you get one song where Suspect the walk on. It feature Wyclef. It's in bad. So and so person there on top." And then they will come. So you might just go outside now. You just see like a Vector outside. Guy, I come boss for the song. You come outside, you meet this person. I come boss for the song. You meet Reminisce, guy, Alpha.
Sorry, for people who are wondering the different rappers, so we have the male version. So we have Sound Sultan, we have Illbliss, you have Ghetto P, Mikeless, MI, Vector, Nato C. Then we had the FemC, the female version. We had Sasha, we had Muna, we had Eva, we had Cheddar, we had Blaze, we had Z. Then we had the final version. Then we had Tito Simos, we had Ice Prince, we had Skills,
we had Idris Abdul Karim,
DJ Neptune, and then you had the Wyclef one. So, like I said, half of Nigeria.
For Abdul Karim, Idris Abdul Karim was actually coming in from, he went to do a show, I think it was in Kano, and then as he was coming in, he just started buzzing. Guy, Alpha. I say, brotherly idea. He say, guy, my verse. I say, come through, no problem, just come through. And I think he was the last person because he was now getting too much. Yeah. It got to a point where we recorded and clients just looked at me and say, Omoya, Otito. Because the thing about recording that I think that was like the longest track ever recorded. And even up till now, it was actually a long strip. I had to start re-editing to get the male version out.
I see.
And then get the female version out. In fact, get the male version out. The male version, there were like 2 versions for the male, 2 different male versions, and then the female version. It was a lot of work, but it gave everybody, the people that wanted to prove themselves. What I wanted to do that period was for everybody to come through and prove themselves. You say you be rapper. Oh yeah, see the beat. Oh yeah, rap.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Which is your favorite?
Blaze.
You see?
I like Blaze.
A lot of people actually loved Blaze on that song. Yeah. They did.
I can't forget this. Is that Blaze played the hand that Ninja Delta. I was like, I've always been a fan of Blaze. So I'm glad. So which one would you say was your favorite out of all of them?
It was the one that had. It was the version that had Idris Abdul Karim and Reminisce them.
So Tito, Ice Prince, Scales, Reminisce, Idris.
Yeah. DJ Neptune. It's the remix, baby. Yes. Hey. My name now Suspect, nigga. I mean, get a defeat. You know what, Peter Ibanga. Let's go. Yeah. My father been told me make I no send these fuckers. See anything where I do make I just stay focus. Say if we make it that women go just one focus. Don't be like the man they lie, they just want chokers. I'm not saying if the man where am I your mother and your real father, or whether you want your soul cause brother no be real blood brothers. Cause I know they bothered about you when your dogs are bleed cross white clan. If you be king for your area, live up like that. Now you they talk for your area, live up like that. You get mouse for your area.
Fresh boy. Like I promised you a tip or an outcome eventful. You're just a house help or high service. I know send you. I'm multilingual, don't let this boy sting you. Your girl keep looking, I'ma show her what this thing is. Underdog rising to bestow my throne. Like I was taking the piss shit, I hold my own. So quit with all the coat-on, you bunch of sicko fans. All on my nuts like the press and sicko fans. Stick to the plan, shit, I'm heavy in demand. Got these young things falling in love like the band. I ain't seen the show promoter that could try to form my hand. Even JAJ's like Tito's the man.
Next time when you see me for your area, make you know they shake like person where gets malaria. I be a Jebaki with a chance, I get butter for my area. Only shake
see me not send you and me not pretend to test me and get a black eye like a pencil. I'm your parental suspect, made the instrumental. Me, I'm in the kitchen like utensils. I've been through a lot, so ain't shit that you can tell me. Little but my rhythm extra large like LD. I got game, no PS. Your whole crew is BS. My I2 in red, no TS. Yes, me, I mean well. My single be like Mnet show, cause man, the teen sell. I'm the king from my hometown. My back know they touch ground. The cat where they bite dogs and face carry much crown.
If you be king for your area, live up like that. Now you they talk for your area, live up like that. You get mouse for your area.
Croc City, what up? When you start hating on me, that's when you become a fool. I'm high above gravity cause I broke the rule. I'm a king and I'm the limit, every man can reach. I rule the kingdom looking at every man as a snitch. And every girl I'm dating, I was calling me her rainbow. Cause once they had the skills feeling, they let the pain go. Waiting concern you with that doughboy claim house. Tell me what's your business if I'm chilling with the house. Then iska shege ubanka. I stay they try to pull me down, I still conquer. All the rappers have been telling lies, I swear that I'm the truth. You just give me a little time and I'ma prove
I don't send you like text. If you like, make you vex. I beg chief, get out. Give me space, make I flex. Emi omori share, Timothy Mushak. Reminisce, Joya, Jabon sorry beat.
Mo fast smoke
be smoky, watch out be chucky. For kiki sheruba, one animal lucky. What is so? I've been ibiatos ability. Both folks do not test my versatility. I am trilingual, motun so français. Voulez-vous vous chier avec moi, mademoiselle? Talon by rap, et mini rap at moji. Reminisce, Eruku, Emoji. One been a Clemo 2 today, so fresh, so cool, the king is back again. One been a clear about today, La Cream Entertainment, you know I'm the head of my game. One been about Moshe, bow not to Shenshe, to be Jaye. Hey, one been only one, my baby, say your temi, to battery, see what Palori.
If you be king for your area, live up like that. Now you didn't talk for your area, live up like that. You get mouse for your area.
You see, this is the thing. Not completely. I wish I could. There's a way I could edit again and bring all the favorite ones I love on the particular. But I can't. But I don't think now.
Yeah.
Even if I still have the data for the project, but nah.
It's okay. You can make it a collection album later in the later in your career. Collection of the hits.
I actually liked it. I liked the fact that Idris came through, and the way he did his verse, he didn't do it like it was in that is other zone. This is one of the things I was telling you, that people needed to hear their rappers rap proper. So when he came through and did his verse, you're like, it was now clear that this guy can actually rap now.
Yeah.
So every time he did his miggity figgity, it was just Okay, so another one of my favorites of the album is Twilly. Twilly had two versions. So he had the original, which had Z, Shank, Ilblish, and Young Mills. Young Mills from Chocolate City that went on to join Chocolate City. And then my favorite is the one with Pasuma. I just love that track. So are you serious? I'm serious. I love that. I mean, I like the original as well, but that Pasuma one goes hard, like it's just too dope. So can you talk about what it was like working with Pasuma? Pasuma actually lives like on the same street where the office was then, still is anyway, but he's moved now. He lived on the same street, and every once in a while we run into each other. Maybe when I'm taking his stroll or he's taking his stroll, he'll be like, the suspect, kilo studio one, I'll be like, so that period when I was now working on that particular, I'm like, the person that should be on this song, I already know who should be on it, so I didn't even waste any time. I put it on my phone. Just took a walk, went to his house, knocked on the gate. Moferi chairman say, suspect, wale. I went in. So suspect, kilo nse le mi. I say, money ki wa play share kon fun yin ni. He said, jengbo. I gave him the song. After listening, he said, that please I should go back to the studio and get him and put it on a CD for him to write, so he can write. So I gave him the CD. He wrote. After writing, I now told him whenever he's free, he should just let me know, come through to the studio. And then he came through. And when he wanted to start, we now found out that what he wrote, the producer and me had to start tweaking what he wrote. And he liked it. Funny enough, because he said he got confused at some point because he was trying to get into that. Not do complete Fuji blend with hip hop, because he felt like things were going to change and there was going to be another generation of musicians. So he needed to find a way to balance out. So we found a way for him to restructure his verses and everything, and it worked out. Yes, it worked out. She can go no duro, kiss me. Emi ati capital.
one I want to just go on. It wasn't off the album, but like you said, it was Tito Simos's 2009 record, Oshamo.
Oshamo.
I love that song. And then seriously, what is it with you in the video and that dog scene?
It was actually, that part was actually acted out.
That's so funny.
Funny enough.
No, I know, it
was actually acted. We wanted a situation whereby for the video, we didn't want the video to just start like that. Somebody started rapping and then that's it. As at that time, people actually, the public paid attention to details. The public actually wanted to be entertained.
Yeah.
Proper then. So more entertainment before the video started. That's what clients and I came up with, and we didn't think of it before. It was when I got on set as a Carabao boy. You understand what I'm trying to say? The dog in the building started to bark. When I got there. So it was trying to form kind. Told Clarence, let's look for a way to to get this thing into the video.
Yeah.
So we found a way. Told Clarence shoot the dog on its own. Down, behaving like, gangsters and all that. Yeah. And then one single back from a door just scatters everything.
Yeah.
And then we shot, and then he walked.
Yeah.
Another part again, the door scene, there was the fresh shoot. was the fresh fish part again. That thing blew up in like a week.
Wow.
It blew up in like a week.
Yeah.
Fresh, the slang, fresh fish. Then that one just blew up forever. It just blew up forever from then on. Yeah. So you walk into some places that probably even back then you even go to church and then people be calling you fresh fish inside church. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You already know. Fresh boy. You already know. What it look like, Daddy? It's crazy, man. I'm about to rip this up. Too much Oyinbo. Shouts out to all my Agbero for Oyinbo. All the girls where they Lagos, not Tokumbo, so I they find out Charancha where I go do it loculo. Conscious on me, they see me for TV. They see me, they do fine boy on top CD. On the real, this shit is getting easy. Koto super me, you must submit CV. Them my pass as the human resources. All that type pants really weird or your office. Mirror copy to me, big bit of fellas see office. Close your eyes, relax, baby. Let me touch it. I'm on split 16. Tomandeki, Yauni, I'm be sweet 16. Toba for Jassy, where you grow. I be go time or BT Boston, grow up with Shamo. Odamo, she wanna she walk with me, Odamo.
Osamo, kilo de tofin back, kilo de tofin so, kilo de tofin se big way olenu Osamo, kilo de tofin back, kilo de tofin so, kilo de tofin se big way olenu Osamo.
Let you go be Gemma Soldier. 6-pack, talk my bitty St. Louis sugar. I'm on la fake, girl, I be killer worry, all on fun, but I big way, Ojebari. But you were champion of the Fufu Olympics. Swallow all the Okele in the Lagos district. Or Daro get it gone. Amazing boy from Oshe Frog Job, like that is my mouth for baby boy. Oh, gal, it is tall, situation will be small. If that guy they fumble, I'm the one that you should call. I'm a pimp, baby. PIMP, power in my pants. Now who wants to test me? If I jack go circle, I can take your whole circle. You're right now, but like my man, when they echo. All them heads is like Tito sold out. You damn right, stupid, my record sold out. Shamo, Odamo, she wanna she walk with me, Odamo.
Osamo, kilo de tofin back, kilo de tofin so, kilo de tofin se big way olenu Osamo, kilo de tofin back, kilo de tofin so, kilo de tofin se big way olenu Osamo.
The friendship has spoken, yeah, I'm from heartbroken, no room for more care. It up, yo, 2 fingers in the air, mama fire wine, but mama hit it from the rear. Enter the dragon, Emi Mojo actor, men go joints one bitty chiropractor. I want guys see what claiming play what hardcore. I want big cutlass, one on your tractor.
Jantira, Tito Jantira, Jantira, suspect Jantira, oh Jantira, Center Jantira, oh Jantira.
I want to ask you, what is Jantira?
Jantira. Hey, it's a long. See, let me explain this.
Just quickly explain what is Jantira.
Yeah, I will. Jantira is not. It's just. It's no word. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It was coming from it was from my Fuji days. Funny enough, there's this guy in the band then. His own will just come through. It wasn't really in the band, so it will, like friends, affiliates will just come through and just hearing when like the omele and the sakara is going on, like you just hear him say Jantira, or say ni Jantira, Jantira, like that. So that's how, and that's how music for Fuji. That sometimes that's how you make melodies. Sometimes somebody will probably come and tell you so that's what the talking drummer would like play. So that's what the guys. So I was like, and I remember what else can I put on this song, so my people from the hood will now remember this line and say, oh, this is that in 19 Bogboro that we used to say then. Okay, even when we were recording, Tito was asking me, what is this thing? I said, don't worry. It is when he enters the street. Tito is an Ejebon. I didn't know what was going on. So he didn't know the extent to which the song had gone until he went to Gbemisola Street. Gbemisola Street is the street where Fela's house is. So he went visiting, drove down there to see a couple of friends. So as he got down from the car, some hoodlums just circled around him. So I think one of them now recognized him. They now chilled because they can't touch him now since he's somebody that knows me. So he's somebody that knows me. So they can't touch somebody I know. So like Kishi Baba is he not that guy? He said yes. No, but you see Oshama, and say when I spoil work for suspect, I make suspect not the playboy again. I make our brother not the playboy again. More pity you, more could go. So he didn't understand the extent to which the song had gone that period. It did not understand. Even me myself, it was when like you take a stroll into the hood and then people just hold you down that you understand how much work you put in. That's how big the song was then. It's just a pity that it couldn't replicate it. When I mean replicate, make that type of music, that type of hip hop, and it was a warning I actually gave him because I didn't want to work with him in the first place. Because Tito is coming from that hip hop background where it's the 4x4 beat, the and I told him, guy, you want to work with me? It is not a problem. The only problem is I don't want a situation whereby I just want to eat. I don't want the type of production you want me to give you. I want to give you something that will work for you and work for me. I don't want to just collect your money. I want to be able to collect more money off the work that I've done for you. Get to be able to produce for other people in this same genre. It was like I kept running away from him until I met him at the party where he was too, and it was like, guy, you've been avoiding me. I'm like, what? You want me to produce for you? He said, yes. I say, if I tell you to do something, will you do it? He said, yes. I said, let's go back to the studio. So we left. He said, now? I said, yes, let's go and work. We left the party, came to the studio. The beat was down already. I'd done the hook. He loved the beat, and then he started writing. I structured his verses. When it was done and everything, he was now afraid. The same problem that Kel had, being afraid, not knowing what works, and not being able to trust in what they've recorded themselves, because that is not their own area of specialty, you understand? So I'm like, if this is what you want to do, guy, you need to be able to work harder, like 10 times to replicate it. That's how you become a force. To be reckoned with. So the song dropped, it blew up, but he wasn't ready to do another one because he was too into his hip hop community, and he did not know that these people were going to fail him at the end of the day. It's just the truth. It's the truth. I keep saying it. I'm from that era, so I'm telling you, all they do most times is just to rate your bars. No, we want a situation whereby you put out the music pays for whatever you need, and then the music also keeps you relevant. The music brings more people. The music draws people from the other side, people that actually love music, not just your type of music. That's what I want to do. That's what I kept telling him, but you see, okay, Tito went back to making those type of music, and nothing. And you see, nothing happened.
Yeah. I think maybe it's the artists and people. Sometimes they're unable to see the music from the music business. Two different aspects. The industry.
Yeah, two different. It's sad though. It's sad. One of the things that hurts me the most is the people like Tito, where if you check that period, they were the new age people, so to say, for this genre of rap and rap music and hip hop that people are making now. Imagine if you stamp your authority proper with like 3-4 tracks and it was solid then. Was almost the same type of this thing. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Every other person that comes through will come and queue up.
Yeah, that's true. I could talk about this on and on with you, but I have like I said I want to talk about because I don't want you to say Shade but I want to ask you about the local government one with MI, but I wanted to just talk about I talked about Jantira. You tend to have all these like weird, like not weird in a bad way, like really weird like lyrics. So you have stuff like on Usogbu you have what jungle don't mature, lion they use clipper.
It's clipper.
What the hell does that mean? You have that. You have Tironobi makeup. You have my father get beer.
Pass your papa.
You have because me they say face to face.
You form streets. My papa and I press the quota.
You say I they drop plenty hits where go make you come quick. You have all these like FEZ without lyrics na disease.
Shade, you have been stalking my life.
I have
all these things.
I'm a big fan of yours.
You're a true fan. I salute you.
Thank you. I always wanted to know, what is it that, because I feel like one thing I've come to love about you as not even just a producer, as an artist, and for people who do not know, Suspect has worked with artists such as, like he said, Wyclef Jean, M.I., Chidima, Fino, Terry G, Frank Dinero, Kel, Rooftop MCs, Ilbliss, Durella.
And then we can go more international. Bruno Barudi, Fred Vieira from Brazil.
Ice Prince, Tito, Sasha, Z, Blaze, Eva, Straight Butter, so many people, Awilo. So I just wanted to... YJ. There's so many. Cynthia Morgan, Lil Cash, a lot of people. But I just wanted to know, how do you go about... Because like I said, those lyrics and those lines just crack me up. But you have a way of crafting hooks. How do you go about saying, this is what's going to work? Like, how does that come to your mind? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand. Number one, I cannot take all the credit. I would say God. Now God, they inspire me. I don't know about any other person, but for me, now God, they inspire me. Because I don't know anywhere where they wrong go. I don't know anywhere where they go again. Pass, make I go talk to God before I do my work. You understand? It's basically God and the fact that you want the people to remember you long after you're gone, so they can be able to say they should be able to find a pattern of how you work, how you on your own you've been able to carve that niche for yourself and be like, there's no other person that does this thing the way this guy does his own. It takes time, it takes a lot of energy, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. That's the one thing. Things like this happen for people that love what they do. So I love what I do. And I'm ready to always go the extra mile to make sure that these things come out as it is. Now, quickly,
you have the track with MI, Local Govament, which I love.
Local Govament,
I love. No, I feel like it's a very modern day Afrobeat track that's obviously influenced by Fela. And I just love the song. I love the track because it's amazing. I wanted to talk about, what was your inspiration? I feel like the inspiration clearly is like the way Nigeria was in 2015, which I don't think has even changed anymore till like now. So can you just speak on that? Can you just speak on that to us?
Local Govament was basically, for me, was just a song that I wanted to use to hail every Nigerian out there that was fending for themselves, you understand? That's fending for themselves, you understand? That's making sure that there's light. It wasn't particularly trying to highlight the faults or whatever, the shortcomings of the government. It was just to highlight the fact that every Nigerian is trying, as in like we are trying, for the people that are striving out to make sure that their families eat well, their families are protected, and they provide these basic amenities for themselves without actually waiting for the government and everything. So I wanted to hail them and not do it the proper thing for Afrobeat. Afrobeat is rebel music, proper. It's rebel music. You understand? In as much as it's conscious music and all that, I didn't want to on that song rebel against anybody at all. I just wanted to hail the people and tell the people that they have tried and that they have done well. That's what the song was. So when we wanted to record, after I did my part and I told MI that MI was going to be on the song, it was going to be Afrobeat. It was scared. He thought it was going to be one of those my Afrobeat songs, the one that is actually geared towards, troubling the government. Yeah, like they're always afraid of it. People are always afraid when it's Afrobeat, like suspect. No, I don't want to do
because you have that subsidy and erection and elections.
Yeah, so he was actually afraid until now. Played the song for him, told him and explained to him that no, this one is for. So he now listened properly again, and I said, oh, okay. So if you heard his verse proper, you understand that he too was now. He was now hailing himself and hailing the people. Yeah, he killed it. Yeah, he killed it for being able to get up and do stuff for themselves without waiting for the government.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely love that record.
Suspect on the beat.
Shangisha, hit, Shangisha, hit, Shangisha, You be local government unto yourself. If you dey protect your area, you be local government by yourself. If you dey give yourself electricity, you be local government by yourself. If you dey vigilante your family, you be local government. Definition of government, that the people will hold the power for one environment. Definition of government, that the people will come together to protect their environment. You pity day your environment, and the people will hold the power, them they fraudulent. Make you not mind anybody when they tell you, say you be victim of a consequence. As you flex for your parliament, make you remember, say no condition is permanent. Every man is a government for himself, by himself, unto himself and everybody else. Any man where they hustle with a better pass my neighbor. Guy, you not government, they provide water, you be local government unto yourself. If you dey protect your area, you be local government by yourself. If you dey give yourself electricity, you be local government by yourself. If you dey vigilante your family, you be local government.
As local government chairman, I need to cut a ribbon. I need a new scissors. I need a few hillocks. I need like 2 deluxe. Prado that's bulletproof because people want to kill us. As local government chairman, opposition's too jealous. I know the politician, but the situation is making me to take in a new occupation. For this I need shot. You have to govern yourself, govern your family, and govern your relation. I got 2 generators, diesel and petrol. 2 security for morning and evening patrol. 2 water tank, water pump and a borehole. I'm 40 Agbero and go follow for the parole. I'm just trying to survive with my very hands. The situation where they face every Nigerian. I know the local government, they don't get any plan. So choose one side, that government or militant.
Different governments.
So now quickly, can you talk about Clarence Peters? How did you get to meet Clarence and your time at Capitol Hill?
Okay, so Clarence and I grew up. Clarence is now my brother. We could just leave her like that, number one. Clarence, we grew up in the same neighborhood, I'm older than he is, but we grew up in the same neighborhood, and his house is like, let's say like 10 houses away from my own. And then later on, they moved to somewhere around Allen Avenue, and it was that period I was telling you about that we had issues with my my dad after his burial and everything, and then we were thrown out. I went somewhere else again after some force of nature. We met up again, in church. By then I was working with Praise Brothers, and he wanted to actually start moving with us and everything. I told him he could come, brought him in. Before then, he used to, Clarence was in secondary school. I was already out of secondary school, of course, and I was hustling. And then he would pass by the house. And then one day I was sitting outside, and I saw him passing by. I was like, bros, how far now? I'm like, I'm good, though. You live here? I said, yeah. She's like, okay, my school is just down this place. This, that. I'm like, okay. And the next thing, yeah, please, can you give me water? I gave him water. He drank. And then he had his, what's it called? He had his, the school piano with him. Okay. Then one of those keyboards that were programmable and all. Okay. So he now told me, okay, so you live here. I hope you don't mind. I want to leave this thing with you because I need to carry it to school again tomorrow. I would love to pick it up on my way. I'm like, okay, no problem. So he left it with me. I took it inside. He went home. So after I took it inside, I came back outside, sat down. And then I now told myself, guy, you know a street boy now. You don't know what in this boy, whether they walk at it, not they walk. You just can't go keep like that. Go test them. So I went back inside, tested it, started making beats, made a beat on it. Actually made a complete beat on it. Now saved it, left it there. The following day, after school, he came back to pick it up. Went back inside, I wanted to give him. So, he gave him water to drink. He sat down. And I now played what I did. I was just playing around. Now played what I did. He now told me, sorry, this thing wasn't there before. I said, I mean play and put. He now said, he doesn't understand. Now you play and put how? I said, I mean program and I mean program the thing put. I mean play as he did like, I mean compose and put and there as he did like that. He said, wait, did I do this? That I did it myself. That I didn't know that this thing could do something like that. I said, He now said, can you erase it so I can do another one? I just erased everything. I started from the scratch again. Played the drums, everything with the hi-hats, the congas, everything together on just one of the patches. Played another instrument on the second patch. So it was 4 slots, so I played different things on 4 slots, and they sounded like the complete beat. He just screamed, "Oh my God!" Now said that's actually where we had the idea to come up with Capitol Hill from back then. That's how we had the idea. So eventually, when he had left school, stayed around for some time, and then now traveled out. It's a long story, though.
Yeah, I read that you used to work on motion pictures and soundtracks. And
together.
So now, what made you decide to leave Capitol Hill? Because you left Capitol Hill. You announced on November 29th that you left Capitol Hill to start your own record label, Anyhow Records.
Yeah. Since your winch did strong, you try.
Which is in space. So can you talk about, because I know that on Twitter you said that, it was the best years of your life, but that you were building Anyhow. So can you talk about why you chose to start a record label and why the name even Anyhow Records?
Okay, Anyhow Records was in existence before Capitol Hill. Mm-hmm. You understand? Mm-hmm. It was Anyhow Records that clients came back from SA to meet, that he met me and I wanted to start back then, that he now told me, chill, let's just work together, let's do Capital together. So Anyhow was the initial plan before Capital was the one that assisted Clarence to build.
I see.
And one of the reasons why people think, one of the things people don't understand is I co-founded Capital with Clarence, and then I sacrificed myself as an artist on the label, because as at that time there wasn't really, if you start something, there has to be like a frontline person for it. So in between using Kel, it was actually Eva that was supposed to be signed first, funny enough.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually Eva. So in between using the girls, I sacrificed myself. I would have been an artist, so as in the solo artist on my own, completely under Anyhow Records as at then. So I now doubled as a recording artist to be able to give the label weight.
Yeah.
You understand? So it wouldn't be just Kel standing there. Yeah. So that's what happened. So the contract for being an artist had already expired since. In fact, it was after their music album dropped that it expired. Funny enough, and I would have dropped away since then. But the thing is, it's like I said, it's family. It's like our family business. We cannot run away like that. It was going to crumble if I just run off like that. So I stayed on and just walk instead of running off. So
and then you joined, then Illbliss and Chilliman now came on as well.
Exactly. It was just me choosing loyalty over of those nonsense that happen in the industry and all that.
Because you and Clyde, because I know that some people have said that, do you have a falling out? But even from your most recent video, the one that the now record with the he actually color graded the video for you. So
I still have an office there, so it's not.
There's no beef or anything.
Maybe one of the things I should have cleared out was just that I'm not a man of many words when it comes to industry things like that. I don't want to be remembered for the scuffles. I just want to be remembered for the work, for the art. That's all. If not, I would have gone ahead and said, "Oh, I'm leaving Capital as a recording artist, so I'm still there as a founding member." And I still have my shares in Capital, so no long talk. Don't give them all that nonsense. Go straight to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And even as it is now, now, there's still projects to be done with Capital, as in partnering projects. Funny enough, between Capital and Anyhow Records. Yeah. So it's not.
There's no animosity, anything.
Nah. People are too used to that. That's the funny thing. People are too used to, this one don't follow in record label fight. So it's news. And even that period when news got out, I got a lot of interviews. People wanted me to come and talk and so they could find the negative side of it, so they could blast on social media and everything and get hypes for their stations and everything. But I found out that all the interviews I did on those on that particular period, because I was saying the truth as it was, and it didn't have any negative things on it. Even Clarence, they interviewed Clarence a couple of interviews, and he didn't have any of those things. They refused to even put them out. A couple of them dropped, but not. They couldn't find anything. They were looking for stuff in the old takes that he did, that maybe to find something that didn't tally on everything. And it wasn't like we sat down to do the interview in the same at different points, and what they found out was the same thing I was saying was the same thing that Clarence was saying. So they just give up. So that one I ain't going to show you say negative, bad news, they say pass.
Yeah, so sad. Well, anywho, talk about Anyhow Records.
All right. Anyhow Records is founded by me and my younger sister. Well, we just put our name there for this thing.
Corporation.
For the corporation. Yeah, but me and my younger sister, she doesn't do anything pertaining to entertainment or music at all. She doesn't. Anyhow Records is that label that doesn't necessarily want to deal with artists per se. In the first instance, I wanted to do things differently. So one of the things I want to do is, for instance, is to sign like a vocalizer that can sing.
Yeah, I saw that. So just moving on, you said that. I remember I saw you in an interview saying that you don't want to sign Codeine Boy. You're just a character. So continue.
Yeah, so I wanted to sign like a vocalizer that could sing, you understand? Put the person on, and when the person are artist for, then no saying that if the song blew up and they're not saying that vocalizer song where, anything will happen, you could turn celebrity vocalizer. That's my own way of giving back. That's what I wanted to do. So you won't go fix your car for Yusuf place. Say Yusuf. Nah, that vocalizer where everybody don't hear a song for TV and it don't already blow. You know that if ordinary vocalizer outside, if their money na 500 naira, Yusuf money now 1K5, now 2,000 naira, now 3,000 naira. Because you know, just want go in workshop, you want see Yusuf, you want even take picture with her. You understand? You want they able to go back to where you come from, tell people say, now Yusuf place that they fix my tire. That's the type of business model I wanted to run with it. Now I understand that that's not going to be it all through. I'm just saying for the first phase of what I wanted to do. That will be it.
Yeah, because I read that they said you were saying that according to what you said, based on the article, was that you have the record label to also help the growth of hip hop in South Nigeria. In particular, Akwa Ibom rappers, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's what this the first. That's like the first project I did. It was just supposed to be a test. Actually, went to visit, finished the project, and was like, oh, okay. So who was buzzing here? They said this, that. Brought them together. Recorded the song today. The following day, I got the video shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for people who are wondering, some of the, I guess, Akwa Ibom rappers he's worked with, you have Ikma Udo.
Ikma Udo. Why you calling it like an American? What's wrong?
I'm so sorry. Ikma Udo, Emma Binu. Sorry, it's the American in me sometimes. Okay, Ikma Udo. Okay. Is it Segas or Sagas? Sagas. Savior. So he's not Savior, that's Savior. Oh, yeah, too many A's there. And you have Snooki.
That one, that's a 14, 15-year-old boy, I think. He signed to my younger brother's label.
Okay. But your younger brother has a record label, so that's cool. What's the label called?
UCR Music.
Okay. That's nice. And just I wanted to ask you something. I saw someone tweet at you that why are you choosing to start a record label? And one of my questions tied to that is that because we tend to have a lot of record labels in Nigeria, I wanted to ask why you. I mean, because I know you had already said you had already had Anyhow Records, but I wanted to know, was there a way that you could not have made it into a production label or an artist and development? Because I feel like we lack that in Nigeria. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
One of the reasons why I didn't want to do A&R proper is the people. It's hard for us to pay for things like that. You understand? You start that kind outfit. You tell somebody say consultation and so you go see why they pay you. Waiting they just want to pay you money to hear you talk.
Wow.
You want to pay you money to hear you talk, make advice and meanwhile they are ready to sit down with like a known artist to talk to them, and they are ready to pay. So I'm like, why wouldn't you want to talk to a proper person that's his job, that's his business, that's his specialty? Like they don't want to do that. You understand? And for the label, number one and number two is for some time during the period where being a recording I stopped being a recording artist with Capital. If I drop any material online, in as much as by publishing rights I own it, some way somehow you need to find a way that they can trace it back to a particular establishment, not just you. That's why I now formally just dropped Anyhow Records. So when material is coming out, it's going to this particular place. So it's not. Sometimes people tend to like jumble these things up.
Yeah, but when you drop any record that you have, automatically because you are under Capitol Hill as a label, they already own the masters anyways. So
for that period, that's what I'm saying. For that period. So it was going to be somehow if you now want to drop material. Take for instance, local government is not a Capitol Hill material, but because it had to come, it had to be tagged to a company, to a label. I still had Capital written on it. Written on the what's it called, on the artwork. You understand? In case anything happens, but it's 100% my material. Funny enough, so that's what I'm saying. When people say falling out and all that, they don't understand. You can't be falling out and still have material that is going out
on the Capitol Hill, yeah.
on the Capitol Hill imprint.
Okay, now before I wrap it up with you, I wanted to just if you talk about the different artists that you're currently working with under Anyhow Records.
Okay.
And what artists we should actually be looking out for?
Okay, right now, none of them is signed. The people I put on, I was just putting them on to showcase people from that side of the country, from that part of the country, what they do. But none of them is signed to Anyhow Records. None of them. The people I'm going to sign on to Anyhow Records, when their materials drop, the people are going to see them. They will hear about them. Funny enough, they will. So right now, the frontline artist for Anyhow Records now Suspect himself.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Confirm. So you tow the way for the other people when they come through. You're like, okay, this is the profile of the label. This is the workings of the label. This is how the label. This is the mindset of the label. This is what they do. So so when you try to sign an artist, you won't find anything that is off it, that is not in line with what the label wants to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before I wrap it up and move on to the fun random questions, I wanted to just ask you if you could just quickly talk to us about how important it is for producers and artists not to rush the process, both in, as they say in Nigeria, I want to blow, and honing your craft. Because a lot of times, especially for our generation, we see a lot of people who they want to, which is why I feel like it is so important that we have a lot of A&Rs and development companies, because you need to help people hone their craft before they now become, these established people. So if you just talk to us about the importance of not rushing the process.
It is important not to rush the process of work, number one. Number one is basically because these materials, they go last for a lifetime. And if he bad. The person not use his hand, change the song where you don't. As he don't, if you can't use the hand and change it as he be. If he bad, he bad.
Yeah.
So if if he bad, he go bad. Why no could do and make it good? Make it good. You understand? So don't rush the process. If there's anything you need to learn proper before you jump out there and make it permanent, do them. And even when you don't jump out there, you don't learn some things. Keep learning, because they stop.
Yeah.
Who don't die, I know they feel learn again. Who they alive, now they learn.
Because I feel like a lot of times you see people that they say, oh, I've been an artist for 2 years, and they feel like that's a travesty. But I'm like, I feel like in that time that you have been an upcoming artist for 2 years, I want to see how you have been able to improve yourself over time. Because I feel like a lot of times people say, oh, I want to blow. But I'm like, okay, when you eventually quote unquote blow, you don't have anything to show for it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you haven't really honed your skills.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's... Go ahead.
Another thing is blowing is relative. People drop one song and the song is everywhere and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't get to, you can count a lot of people in the industry that you've heard one song from they were popular, and then up till now there hasn't been anything. They've tried all sorts. There hasn't been anything, and it's because sometimes they don't pay attention to these things you and I just talked about now. You see, A&R is very, very important. Very, very key. If you had a song that was buzzing everywhere as at that point, and you did not, take into consideration that the market, that is hard for people to get into the market, you did not go back into the studio to find a way to do like a replica, not a complete replica song, but a song that still puts you in that same position to solidify it. So by the time you drop like a third one that is completely or just a little bit off what you did on those one, and it's actually good too, you have started making your mark. By the fourth one, you become a force to reckon with. Anything where you drop from that point on, they will just chop them. Nothing, any other thing, forget, they will just chop them. These are the things that happen to Two-Face, for instance. You understand? You know him from Plantation Boys. When he dropped, you know him from Plantation Boys. And when eventually he started working solo, he dropped one. You see, say one good. he dropped the second one, then follow up.
Yeah.
You know, say they good.
Yeah.
And then another thing, you know, say in voice they distinct. When you hear in voice, you know, say in voice. It is not this one that everybody is trying to sound like the next guy.
Yeah.
The dangers of that is once you do that, the generation of everybody sounding like this particular guy. When that generation die, you follow that generation die.
Yeah. Very true.
And that's it.
Because for me, it's like I'm always very wary of people who, not saying like they just come out of nowhere and they have a hit song. I'm always very wary because I feel like it's always hard to sustain that in comparison to like when you're constantly bubbling under, like you're working your way up slowly,
slowly,
you know? So you have a
Yeah.
fan base because, like you said, once you can't replicate that hit track and you don't really have a strong fan base, people just forget about you. You know?
Straight.
Yeah.
There's some people, even up till now, you go out, you go to some places. There's this particular event I went for some time. I don't want to mention the artist, the name of the artist. Like, he was in front of us. I was with Illbliss. Chidima, some other person, I'm trying to remember. And then the artist in front of us was buzzing. The artist in front of us stopped buzzing like 6 months back.
Wow.
He stopped buzzing like 6 months back. And they did not, because he didn't get his passes right and everything. On a good day, they will allow him. If you see him, you just, open gate. Clear road and all that. But they told him, guy, you know if you enter.
Wow.
So me and Illbliss, I looked at the bouncer guy, I said, how far are you, bro? That na so and so now. He said, I know now, but you know they rain again.
Wow.
He said, and there were lots of people there. Immediately said it. He hit me. He dude himself. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
It wasn't good at all. That's how much we don't respect ourselves here.
Sure.
That's how much we don't respect ourselves here. And the one thing that happened to that guy that period is the same thing we were talking about. When it happened for him, it did not look for a way to replicate it. You understand? If you had 2 songs buzzing back to back, guy, that's it. You understand? You go with the things that you don't even deserve. That's the way this thing works. Places that you don't deserve to be in, they open the doors for you. You go in and do whatever you need to do.
That's true.
The music is a swipe card.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, the swipe card.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us about that. Now let's go on to the fun random questions before I, say, okay, suspect, am I low?
Okay.
So this is the part that I ask you all these fun random questions. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, okay. It depends on the question. If the question is I will do fan.
You just fan. Okay.
Fan.
All right. So, what are your current favorite TV shows? What TV shows are you currently watching?
Current TV shows, Game of Thrones. I love everything anything that looks epic.
Yeah,
I like it. I love it. Which other one again? As you just ask the question, I'm not confident remember them, but that's like top on the list.
Game of Thrones.
The Game of Thrones.
I will say the theme and the music for Game of Thrones is amazing. Definitely, I'm a huge fan of the music, but just like it's too long. It's like all these other Harry Potter. It's like bruh, too long.
Yeah.
Okay, so Game of Thrones now. Okay, so second question is, tell me one thing that will surprise me about you or surprise us about you.
I don't know if this information is accurate, but
okay.
I've been off sex for like a year now. I think it's close to a year now. Yeah.
Wow, that's why. Do you have a reason why?
You're not expecting that?
No,
you know, me, I'm not saying now.
No, I know. That's why I love you, but it was just so random.
I know a lot of people will say TMI.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not really sure, but because this might go out now, and then a couple exes and a couple chicks might actually buzz and say, "Guy,
no,
you still here 1 year you dey talk." Me and you still not do for so and so. Here 1 year, forget. Not they like it, these people. So. Well, close to that, yeah. But I try.
You are so... Okay, I'm just going to move on from that. Okay, so what Nigerian artist are you presently feeling?
Presently feeling... What am I feeling? No, music hasn't been inspiring. I won't lie. Music hasn't been inspiring. I will not lie. But I love Simi.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
She just released her debut album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simi Sola, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Simi. I love her sound.
She does have a very unique sound.
Yeah. Love Simi.
Okay. So for now, you would say the only person you're feeling is Simi.
I love Simi. I love Davido too. Yeah, he's been trying. I can't lie. It's not easy to come back up again and just back to back, just service the street and service the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's Simi and Davido. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
those are the ones I can remember for now.
What about techno? No.
Yeah, techno too. Funny enough, yeah.
Because
the reason why I love techno
is
the reason why I love techno is sorry I forgot to mention his name. Yeah, techno too. The reason why I actually love techno is because it found a way to take up that high life feel and make it new age, which is what I've been trying to tell you about these people that I work with sometimes. I feel like you should just take your sound and make it better, bringing new people to it. It's still fans from the other people, from the other side. If it's from another demographic, still the fans. If from the other type of genre of music that people listen to, still the fans from that side too. That's the one thing I like. It's like if you check the techno, techno is, if you're somebody that wants to pay attention to details, is like a small flavor, the flavor that you can call to a secondary school this thing. A prom night, this thing, you understand, and that's new age. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, sorry, I even forgot it.
No. I was just saying that. Not that you don't have to apologize. I'm just saying that I think that I just feel like he does a great job. I know a lot of people say, oh, he does. I'm like, dude, he's whatever he's doing it really well. And like you said, he's able to merge that sound of his and make it very fresh and convey that to people. So okay, cool. Now, so who inspires you to be better?
Who inspires me to be better? The fans, number one. Then the people I work with, friends. Some of them call, and I know for some time I haven't put out material that has me on it, as in me completely on it, and they'll be like, sometimes the fans will even buzz you, send DMs, send mail messages and say, guy, we cannot lie to you. It's not like we don't like the industry. We love the industry, but there's something that is completely a bit fake about the industry that people like you gave us that was real, and we miss it. We actually do miss it, and we can't wait for you to get back to making music for yourself. So when you get messages like that, you go back and sit down and like, I jump. And this guy just placed me for now. So if there's anything that you've been making that doesn't sound up to par, you trash it straight, and you go to work again.
Okay, so the fans.
But the fans, the people, family, friends, family members, even critics too. There's some people who come and they say some things. Sometimes you may not be able to reply them because before you I wanted to say open your mouth because now social media, most of them are not people who committee for public tell you now for fear. Go flog them for street. They go flog them for street tire. So most of them, when they say stuff like that, in as much as it might want to get to you, you sit down and think about it. You're like, yo, this is what I do for a living. This is how I feed. So I'll find a way to make amends. So sometimes you tell them thank you and you walk on. There are not many critics if you check. We live in a society where people can't say the truth. Or even if you say the truth, everybody will begin to castigate you and see them as say you they hate and all that. You understand? And which is not good. You can't grow like that. You need a situation whereby there will be fire for fire. And if it's fire for fire, it's fire for fire in the true sense of it. And if they criticize in the real sense of the word criticism, it will be nice. You understand? And if the people accept it too as it's supposed to be. If we had credible voices, if the society wasn't based on yes men, and the society wasn't based on Baba find me something.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the people where you find something, now you go see say if the song bad, instead of making tell you say the song bad, and I go tell you say the song they bad. You understand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we have too many of that. The people are hungry in the country, so you can't go and before you insult one celebrity online, say you go calm down. Because it's the truth. Because if you insult and finish, and 3 years later you find out say your brother not get school fees, or you yourself not get school fees, then you won't come beg for school fees. The evidence they say don't yab am before, you know, give you money. You know, give you money. You don't mess up. You don't spoil market for yourself. You understand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that one now affords some people the opportunity to lie at all costs.
Yeah.
So you just lie.
Yeah.
Just tell lie. Baba, you are the best. Baba, you they produce that. Baba, your beat. Baba, not only you. Baba, your beat heal somebody for general hospital yesterday evening. Things like that. You understand?
This guy, okay. I'm just gonna move along. Oh my gosh. I was like, okay. Now, what would you do if you knew you were going to die in 1 hour?
In 1 hour?
Yeah.
First things first. I go before my God. Ask for mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2, all the people who I don't disappoint for this life, the ones where I feel rich, the ones where their phone connect, ask them for forgiveness. Yeah. Then number 3, my money then will remain for them, my different accounts. Just forward down. Forward down to people, to different people. Where I know say maybe at some point in time they go through something and not get the chance to help them.
Yeah.
Forward, completely empty the money to people. Waiting again. Then I'll just ask anybody, any woman where I don't ever give belle, may just make it no vex, or make it try tell the children, say na me, and you say na me, and maybe their papa. Say me na maybe gone, and maybe their papa be legend. Say I be legend. Anywhere where the children go, make the children tell people say na their papa na me that guy that time. See their papa na legend. They respect him. You understand?
But you can do that one. You can do that one before. You can do that one before, like you have to die.
No, I'm saying the ones that did not come forward with the babies.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. But how would
later
you know?
on, made them say, and now they thought that they give the message down, made them tell them.
Okay.
Made them endeavor to tell the children.
Yes.
So that when the children they grow up, they tell you. So. What's your father? You say, actually, it was sister and so person. Oh, are you serious?
Okay.
Because entertainers, we get the ability and the grace to the deposit different places. You understand?
Yeah.
The glory too much. That's why I know it.
Only 1 hour, only you. Okay.
I didn't tell you.
Okay, my final question, which is kind of still tied to that, is like, if you had £1 million, I wouldn't say naira because naira doesn't have any value. So if you had £1 million, what would you do with it?
What would I do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, first things first, I go sit down and think about my life. I'll go sit down and think about my life. Because if I don't think about money go useless. It be like saying a big money, but trust me, na useless money. They tell you go finish. So number one, I sit down and think about my life. Number 2, the small things where I'm not able to do before the £1 million come, I go quickly sort those ones out. First things first, because sometimes you talk about money, you're saying you'll be there saying, I wish I had 7 million to quickly do this thing, and then you go do 1 or 2 different works like that. You now have 15 million, and things that you actually wanted to do in the first place, na lie. You won't be able to do it, and the money goes away like that. So, if I get £1 million now, this is not lie for you. First things first, I go first go buy a wagon, sit down, they eat, make my head they come down, my they just fit think, man think. With
Okay, I'm just gonna move on. So you would just sit down and reassess your life and then decide how you want to go.
So you're eating the wagon because the oil and the
help
oil
you
will
think.
find its way to lubricate every part of your life that is stiff.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for elaborating and telling us that. Now I know that if I I should just be ever going so that all the areas of my life that are rusty can be lubricated. All right, cool.
I did tell you. You go normal.
All right, Suspect. In closing, can you tell us what projects you are currently working on and what we should expect from you before the year comes to an end?
All right. I have a couple projects I'm working on. First things first is I have like a first single for myself that I have to release for the year, but I'm turning between in between 3 tracks that are like frontline singles, and I don't know how to go about them. They are different songs that will work in their own respective, but to now sit down and choose that one, that may be the problem. Number 2, we are afraid of saying these things out because it's an African society and people wishes are everywhere. Ogirileti in your lengebe.
So Ogiri is the wall. So the wall has ears.
Yes.
What's the other part?
In your longebe. That's humans for you.
Okay. Oh,
no, that's humans for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right, cool. Now, for people who want to connect with you, can you give them your social media platform handles and if you have a website information?
Okay, website now www.thesuspect.com.
That's www.thesuspect.com. Okay.
And then for social media, for people who want to do business, if you connect me for Twitter at DASUSPEKT, and then for the girls then we will like get belle and no one make public know about
Oh my God.
Instagram they there THASUSPECT. For those who they like to disturb person life and they no go never ever get reply for that type of disturbance, go to Facebook, the suspect. That's THASUSPECT 001. Once I message, say no, I no go ever reply. Go Facebook, go do that one. And Snapchat, I know they do Snapchat again. I only do one for 24 hours and I stop because I don't understand why I go to dash my data out anyhow like that to one company. Then which one again? Which other one?
That
is
was
there?
the Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat. So that's pretty much it.
Yes.
Okay.
For the other ones where they never invent, where they come for road.
Yeah, you go there.
We'll go there for anything one I need. But it's for business, for business proper, so I can have references when we discuss business. Email is iamsuspect001@gmail.com. That is iamsuspect001@gmail.com.
Okay, cool.
And then for those will be outside Nigeria, where I do international business with, that I do songwriting for, in case that they listen. If you're listening, that one at THA_SUSPECT1@yahoo.com. That one for Igbo people. Not even any Nigerian way bother. Way send message. They may no bother. In fact, I never ever received Nigerian mail for that over the years.
Really?
That particular one.
Just foreign people.
I've never. Just white men. I can't lie to you. So they should not bother.
Okay.
It
kind of reminds me of you had this thing on Twitter. You said I reject every unprofitable DM in Jesus.
I did tell you because some people just come in. So I have something important I need to tell you. I'll now say, okay, is it business? You say yes. Okay, send me a mail. Okay, no problem. And then they start buzzing again. I've sent you the mail. And then you actually go and try and just check the mail. And what you find in the mail is just Baba. That's all.
Baba?
Yes.
What is that?
No, they think maybe in a BBM. So after you write Baba, I will say, sir.
Oh my gosh. All right. On that lovely note, we'll end the interview. Thank you, Suspect, for coming on. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for the interview. God bless you and God strengthen you. And if you not get husband, like 15 will queue up before tomorrow morning.
Amen. As they say, go add that amen.
Yes, and if you get husband, they look for children. I promise you, the next time you are God, next time I do some assault, our twins will come out in Jesus' name. Yes.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Bye.
Suspect on the beat.
Melamios. The guys. Yeah. Nuni ba topstan ke famere bon woman at body. Apo nino atay ko atako kenge. Afrese soro ntoki bane kabe soro. Amakit na ibodo oda.
You know, say you the owe me bar, beg give me now, make a charge. You dog body carry men for plaza, beg give me my charger now.
Nuni ba topstan ke famere bon woman at body. Apo nino atay ko atako kenge. Afrese soro ntoki bane kabe soro. Amakit na ibodo oda. Samio. Sagasa duta one man army yo. Udo bun boy bamo. Yang adong buni dio kesedek bamo. Song figure oda. Hey me dio na ina mo ko di wong soda. Tande see us for the coda. Ekesi bamo na ekesi yege dem ke soda. No ni ba topsen kifam.
The SNC podcast is produced by Sade Anozie and Tomiwa Pamumi. To ensure you don't miss subsequent episodes, you can follow the show on its various social media handles at TheSNCPodcast. So that's TheSNCPodcast. And that name is universal across Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Facebook, iTunes, and Mixcloud. Alternatively, you can follow me on Twitter at Sade Nonconform. Till next week.